Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Perched on the Top Shelf, where figure collectors can come and rejoice and relive some old memories from the WWF LJNs, the WWF Hasbros, bone crunching actions, all sorts of varieties from Jax, WWE Elites, and today we review the latest addition to the WWE Retro line. Now, I would say this is the second season, if you will, Justin, of the boxed idea since the remake. Ladies and gentlemen, perched on the top ropes, correspondent and action figure collector extraordinaire, Justin Largito. So mine aren't here yet, and I'm a little disappointed by that because they were supposed to be here, and for 2 weeks they've been stuck in Pennsylvania for whatever reason. But I get mine tomorrow.
Yep, and I have mine right here. So first, just to start us off here, I have some retros. Well, anyway, we're here to talk about the retros today. So as Lee said, this is the second series coming in this box in this second run of retros. Today we have Nikolai Volkoff, Jimmy Hart, Bret Hart, and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. So pretty much we have the Hart Foundation and Nikolai Volkoff, which you can also use to finish up the Iron Sheik from the first run of retros, if you remember that. But same design here as the series earlier this year with Piper, Mean Gene, Cowboy Bob, and Mr. T. You have the four in the set right here, the retro debut logo there. And then you go to the side, nice little shot of all four, and same thing on the opposite side. The back shows all four figures, as well as the ring that they are not re-releasing, which I wish they would, or at least some kind of variation of it. But it's all there. And let's just get started. Let's open it up. And Lee, if you want to go ahead and say a few things while I'm carefully opening this to make sure I don't fuck anything up, that would be perfect.
So I ordered 2 sets, and I believe you did as well.
I did.
I order 1 set to open out of the package, and I'm getting the Bret Hart signed at a showcase of Legends in Albany, New York. But I also ordered a second set because I don't take it out of the actual Mattel box. Like, it's still taped and everything. It doesn't come out. And I did that with the first wave as well. I didn't I still got the first wave sealed in a box, and the other one I've had Cowboy Bob Orton sign, and then I had him sign the box as well. This set, though, I will need to get a third Mean Gene to actually open, because as you can see behind me, for the podcast people, you can't. But you can go to youtube.com/perched on the top rope to watch this and see what's behind me. I have my Hasbro setup and everything. Like, I have one of the Mean Genes. Well, actually, I got 2 of them in front of my stages with doing interviews. So I need the Jimmy Hart to place alongside either Bret or the Nasty Boys. You name any of the tag teams, he's managed them. So
Yeah, and you just mentioned, Lee, how you're looking for another Mean Gene. Boy, do I have some breaking news for you. So, as of today, by the looks of it, because it was the first day I noticed it, Ringside Collectibles has the last series of retros up on the website. You can buy them all 4 together, or you can buy them separately. I believe all of them are $15.99 each. So if you do need an extra one, because I considered getting another Rowdy Piper. We didn't talk about that on the show, but my Rowdy Piper from the last set did not come in as I had hoped. Carding was good. It was the fact that a little bit of a paint error on Piper's boot. There was a nice little white smudge on the boot, and it bothers me to this day.
Well, it was funny because mine, my one Mean Gene came cracked, and I had to open it.
Right.
So I had to buy a Mean Gene on card to replace that, and then I bought another Mean Gene to have loose, for my setup and my stage and everything.
Mhm.
I'm probably gonna have to have a couple of Jimmy Harts too, to put with a couple of tag teams.
Well, seeing
So
as we took this past series up, I wouldn't be surprised if this series we're going to talk about ends up on Ringside Collectibles within the next few months at least. But let's start it off. You want to start off with Nikolai since he's kind of the odd man out in all this?
yeah, we can start with him.
Okay, so we got Nikolai Volkoff here. Lee, we didn't even talk about this before either. What do you think of the new artwork on these retros since they've kind of been revived? Like before we would have the action shots of the wrestler, now we kind of have the studio shot, a little bit more artwork to it.
I definitely like it. Um, but like something noticeable on Volkov is all the US. That is one thing that I've noticed. Now because you're holding it straight up, because like I'm pretty sure he had something on his trunks too.
Yeah, so on his trunks he has, like, you really have to look at it if you have this mint on card. There's like a nice little blue line going down the side on both sides.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure like on his like sweatshirt he had like a USSR like logo, or it was on.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. Like
They
they
photoshopped.
obviously know enough that they have to alter it. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yep.
I think on the older series, like they still had them like, yeah, like the action shot. Uh I guess we have to see the rest of the cards, to be honest with you. I think this is the first one I've seen, but I I don't know if it's saving money. I guess that's the only thing I can think of is that they're doing, because I'm looking at the back of the card, and to be honest with you, you know it's retro, but it's also kind of bland at the same time.
I do like the back of the cards. I think it really does go with like the WF Hasbro feel, especially with the little cutout card there at the bottom.
Yeah, no, and I feel that, but it just, I don't know, it just, the vibe I get from it is just, it's different.
Right.
But yeah, so far on that one, I very noticeable difference with the no writing on the, and I'm pretty sure he had something on the hat, but I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah, me too. I can't even confirm that, but it's very possible though. But Nikolai we have here, honestly,
What's his
not
action?
so he has the
Oh,
kicking
he's
act.
okay.
Now it's funny because if because they have this little bubble on the packaging that kind of
Yeah.
you can do. So here we have authentic superstar moves, Nikolai Kikolai.
Okay.
I got a laugh out of that, but Nikolai Kikolai, Nick kicks a lot.
So how
Uh,
how do you rate that one?
as in figure as a whole, or
Yeah, the card and all, yeah.
if I'm doing this out of, if I'm doing this out
10.
of, I don't want to go. You want to do 10?
10. Let's go 10.
10. I'm gonna say a 7, solid 7. Only
Okay.
because there's just not much to it. Like, you have the red trunks, the red knee pads. The hat is cool to have. I don't think it's removable. I don't have a loose one yet, so I can't confirm if it is or not. But yeah, there's not much to it. I mean, I like it to have, next to the Iron Sheik. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a Nikolai Hasbro or anything, so I think he's definitely welcome in this set. well, maybe not this exact series because he just really feels like the odd man out in all this. But
Yeah, for real, he is the odd guy out. From my standpoint, it's just a very basic figure. Um, I like the idea of the retros, and yes, Nikolai Volkoff did have USSR across his sweatshirt because I'm actually, ironically, right across from me is his LJN, so
yep,
that's not on there. I'm giving it a 6. It's
yeah, I
just
think
it's like if you have him with the shirt, they could have put the shirt on him on the figure as like a soft good.
right.
But then that brings up more of the fact that he doesn't have the USSR written across his shirt, like I said.
Yeah,
I think it's a very, like, from my standpoint looking at it, I'm moving it a 6 out of 10.
yeah. Like it's not trying to bash it or anything. Like I said, and you said the same thing. There's just not much to it once.
No.
And
I would have given it an 8 if it had a soft good of a shirt, or if it had a soft good removable hat. You know
right,
what I mean? Like that brings it up a lot in my opinion. Those soft goods, we've seen just in the Hasbro line, a nightstick, a little freaking authentic nightstick to Boss Man can go for 20-25 bucks. I mean,
right.
it's more than what the figure goes for, dude. Like the series 1 loose. You add that loose good, that figure would be bumped up to an 8 out of 10 right away.
Absolutely. And if they ever want to reuse this mold, if they want to give Nikolai another shot, we could get the $1 Million Corporation Nikolai Volkov at some.
Ooh, yes.
You see, if they had chases in this retro line, I think that would be actually a really good chase.
That
To
would
do.
that would be really cool. Well,
But
Justin, who do we have next?
yeah, let's go with another one I was kind of excited about because we didn't get this in the Hasbro line. We had, you know, Jim the Anvil Neidhart himself, but he was in his new Foundation gear with Owen Hart. So there we have Jim the Anvil Neidhart Hart Foundation gear this time. I like it. Look at the face, the screaming head on him.
Yeah,
Perfect. But same thing. He has the power slam action, the anvil slam. Same thing on the back. All of them look the same minus the card. And yeah, man, I like this. I like this a lot actually. Uh the pink on the tights really pops. The sunglasses are cool. I already pointed out I like the screaming head on it. I think that's perfect. Uh this one I'd probably give an 8 out of 10, honestly. I'm really considering bumping it to a 9.
can you show us a side view of like the side of the trunks? Oh
Side of
yeah,
the
there's, yeah, dude, that's, yeah, 8 out of 10, easy.
Yeah, you can see he has the little black anvil on the boots too.
Yep. That's very cool.
Yeah, definitely a welcome addition into the retro line, man. Because it just feels out of place not having a Hart Foundation anvil in the Hasbro line.
Yeah. And I believe when it comes to the Hasbros, Coco was done with WWF. And I believe Anvil was supposed to get like that Hart Foundation style gear, but Coco left and they put Anvil in the spot once the new foundation thing happened. But
Right,
if I remember correctly, this was, I believe, Owen and Anvil's figure came out in 93, but depending on when it came out, Owen might have already begun his own style, because if you remember, there was a point where he was actually wearing the same jacket as Bret Hart, but in blue. He had like the same ring gear as Bret, but it was all blue instead.
right.
So, but yeah, I would have loved to have seen that Anvil, and I'm happy that he's part of the retro line at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we'll get into our next guy. And there's a little bit I want to talk about with not him specifically, but the fact that we are getting more retros like this instead of, actual in-ring talent and actual wrestlers. Call me Karen because I love to see the manager. And here we have Jimmy Hart, Megaphone and all. He has the same action as the Mean Gene from the last series with the microphone. So he kind of has the little, I don't know what you would call it, but he has that little smashing. But there he is, Jimmy Hart. Same style, WB Retro logo. Back is the same, the Jimmy Hart card right there. And there's a nice little side view. You got the music notes on the jacket all the way up and down the sleeve. Oh, and I see Lee pulling out rhythm and blues.
There's one tag team he's going with.
Oh yeah. And you see, like I said with Nikolai, if you were wanting to do a chase variant in these retro series, you could have had so many fucking options to put on Jimmy Hart. You could have given the Money Inc. jacket, the Nasty Boys jacket. It's like never ending.
Yeah, he could have had so many of these. It's not even funny.
Yeah, but I'm fine with this. This is like the iconic Jimmy Hart look,
Yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna need a couple of these loose. I'm gonna put him with the rhythm and blues. I have a custom Valentine of what he was supposed to be. I've got the Nasty Boys. I've got various other singles guys he worked with. So I'm gonna have fun with that figure. I am gonna need quite a few of them, for this collection that I have back here. I love the Hasbros, and normally I don't mix the retros in with the Hasbros because they are different series. But I started doing it with Mean Gene. I have him over here with the Undertaker, and I have him over here with Hulk Hogan. That Jimmy Hart is great. I'm so happy he came with a megaphone. That makes the figure, like, you cannot make a Jimmy Hart and not have some sort of megaphone.
Absolutely.
And we've seen him come with other figures. There's a 3-pack in the Jax Classics with him and Beefcake and Hogan when they team together briefly in WWF. There's him with the Nasty Boys, part of the Ringside Collectibles, which I have upstairs, signed by all three. Yeah, look at that. The glasses.
Classic Jimmy Hart face right there.
I love you, baby.
Oh yeah, buy my retro, man.
I love you, baby.
Yeah, but this, I had to look again because as far it looks like on the megaphone they kind of lazied it out and just did red dots instead of the hearts.
Yeah.
But really, look at it closely. No, those are very, very small hearts.
Yeah, and see, like that, so I have, another Bret. I'll put him with him. I'll put him with, the retros. Yeah, it's a great figure.
Yeah, like I said, I'm glad we're getting managers in this line.
What are you giving him?
Bobby Heenan.
Yeah, for real. What are you? We need Bobby Heenan. A Captain Lou Albano would be a really cool one.
Definitely.
Especially with Afa and Sika, if they had, did the Wild Samoans.
Yeah, especially even when you have the Islander with the Islanders with the Hasbros.
Yeah, like imagine how cool that would be.
Yeah,
I'm happy to see managers getting their time now in this stuff, and people like Mean Gene with a retro. Would be another good one if you did Bobby Heenan. You got to do Bobby Heenan. Let me ask you this: how would you have Bobby Heenan? Because now, like that, you brought up the idea of the chase. I have two in mind already.
Okay, so I think you got to go either blue or black track jacket, if you remember those looks.
Yep.
And obviously the black pants.
Yep.
I just think those are two of the most iconic Bobby Heenan looks. Or, and like I said, it might work if you did a chase in these series. If you remember what he wore at WrestleMania 3, the all-white suit, like he has in that Target exclusive Heenan family pack for the Hall
The
of Fame.
Weasel.
No, not that. I wouldn't put it on
Okay,
fucking-
thank God.
we know how that well that did at Target.
Yeah. Okay, so the all white suit.
Yeah, it was in that Heenan family 4-pack with like
Oh yes.
South
Okay.
Side
Yeah.
and-
Yeah. Okay, so mine would be obviously the black. And if I did a chase, it has to be in the same series. I would have him commentary and like a loose headset.
right.
And then because if you do that one as the regular and you have the black suit as the chase, my next person that you put in that series is a Gorilla Monsoon.
Definitely.
Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan, top 3 commentary tag team of all time.
No doubt. I honestly would
time.
put them at number 1, to be honest with you.
They are number 1. You know, they were such a great odd couple for each other. You know, where Monsoon was the commentary, but in the play-by-play, and Heenan was the comic relief heel. It's where those two had such great chemistry together, and it is so cool. If you go back and you can tell how good of friends they were when Bobby Heenan was doing his WWE Hall of Fame speech, and he started to choke up and tear up, and all he said was, "I wish my friend Gorilla Monsoon was here to see this." And that was 2004. Now both men are gone, no longer with us.
Unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate. Great commentary team. And we've interviewed on Perched on the Top Rope Larry Sabisco, who got to work with Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary, and he told some great stories. And fans, if you want to check that out, it's youtube.com/perched on the top rope. But Justin, that's what I would go with. I would go with the commentary as the main one, so that you can have a Gorilla Monsoon, and then have the black suit as the chase, or the blue suit as a chase. Either one I would be totally fine with.
Yeah, and you could definitely do a Gorilla Monsoon too. I would style him like almost exactly as that Elite, the collector's edition that he had a few years ago.
Yeah.
with
And the
maroon
one
top.
thing I've noticed, Justin, with these retros, since they've become, I would say the second season of them, that's how I'm kind of referring to them as. It's the second season type deal. They went away for a while, they're back.
Right.
It's not new people. It's not new wrestling now. It's, you can tell that Mattel has, kind of learned a lesson that this is geared towards straight up collectors.
Yeah, because you don't even see like main roster stars of today. It's all
No.
seven so far.
Yeah. And even in the ones coming up, like we've seen the Lex Luger and a few others that are coming.
Tugboat, Doink the Clown.
That Tugboat, again, that was a Hasbro we were supposed to get. Matt Cardona has maybe, I don't know if he still has the pieces of it, but he's got a prototype, I believe, of it, and a 2-up of it, which is pretty cool. But the Doink, I mean, we got a Doink Hasbro, we got a Lex,
Cool.
we got a Lex Luger. But I'm excited because these are still my era of wrestlers, from the golden age.
Right.
I still want to see There's still a lot of others I want to see, but we just listed off a few that were there. So Justin, what are you rating WWE Hall of Famer, Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart?
I think I'm gonna go 8 on this one too, man. Like, this is, if you're looking at a Jimmy Hart retro that is perfect and that just goes with everything, like, this is the one, in all honesty. And I'm trying to see. No, the glasses aren't removable. It looked like they were a little like off the face, but no, you can't take them off.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, not many people see Jimmy with his sunglasses off anyway.
No, and if you see Jimmy with his sunglasses off, you know shit's going down.
So I'm not gonna lie, Justin. As we've been talking about this figure and the fact that there's so much more that they could have done with it as far as a chase and this and that and different jackets. You said this was perfect, so I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
Oh wow. Hey man, I can't argue with that. Like I said, this is the iconic Jimmy Hart look. When you think of Jimmy Hart, like, you think of the white jacket, the red hearts on the megaphone and everything. That, at least to me. Only because I
Listen,
remember the first Jimmy Hart figure I had was the classic Superstars, and it had this look,
as a kid, all I wanted was a Bobby the Brain Heenan to walk my Ric Flair and Mr. Perfect down the ring.
Oh, dude.
My nasty boys, my Bret Hart, my Hulk Hogan, my Beefcake, my Honky Tonk Man, my Greg Valentine. All I wanted was Jimmy Hart walking them down the ring. So this is a 10 out of 10 for me. It's a great figure, I think. I think it's awesome. Even with the little things that we talked about, it's 10 out of 10 all day.
Yeah, and like I said, hopefully we see, and I'm sure we will see, more managers coming in this retro line. Give me a slick to put with Akeem and Big Boss Man from the fucking Hasbros. That was
Right.
another thing that popped into my head. Do you think Paul Ellering would be a good one to put with the Road Warriors?
Yeah, but knowing WWE Mattel, they'd want to put the fucking stupid puppet with them. And I wouldn't.
Yeah, you're right, because they do have the mold already.
Yeah, they'd want to put that dumb puppet with them. And it's just like, no, thank
just
you.
just give him the roll of papers and give him the nice little manager smashing arm action. That's good with me.
You know who would be cool? Like a Virgil in a $1 million man suit. That would be neat.
That would. I didn't think of that.
Because again, that's a manager, and you can also put them with the Hasbros and mix them in. Just looking behind me. I think it would be neat since we have Braun Breaker if we got a set of Steiners.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking over at my Hasbros too, just trying to brainstorm any kind of idea.
Yeah, now you got me looking, dude. I'm like, wait.
Here's another one, and I don't know if we'll ever see like a female retro Hasbro style figure, at least in the Mattel WB line. I would love a Miss Elizabeth, man.
You know what? I was gonna say that. I was gonna say a female would be awesome. Miss Elizabeth would be great. Again, another one you can mix in with Hasbro's because of Macho Man. Or like put him with the Mega Powers, him and Hogan and her. I would yeah, man, those are good. But I had Sister Sherry in my head.
Ooh, yes.
And the reason why I say it is because in the Legend series, we know that that HBK that we keep seeing from the early years is coming.
Yep.
And I know in the first wave of retros, we got a modern day Shawn Michaels. I'd like to see that HBK from the early 90s and have a, you know, and a sister Sherry. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and you know that era of sensational Sherry that was just released in Elite form in the
Yeah.
SummerSlam this year, so they do have like the head and everything.
Yeah, and you know who else would be a really, really, really cool retro?
Hmm.
Luna Vachon
Yes.
with her mohawk, and she would have the paint of lightning bolts.
Yep. And I believe Cella Toys. I don't remember if it ever got released, but I remember them mentioning that they were going to have a Luna Vachon retro style figure coming.
You know, like
But
how
I would love to see WB kind of dig deep into that pool and give us some deep cuts.
I think that would be really, really, really cool. Again, I like the fact that there's not anyone modern to the line right now. And it seems that they're sticking with that because we've already, you know, briefly mentioned some of the people in series 3 coming out. But you know, there were some guys um that didn't get figures that I think would also be pretty cool to see. Um you know, Mr. Hughes is the first person to technically steal the Undertaker's urn. I think it'd be cool to get a Mr. Hughes, you know, with an urn. That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Um,
You see,
I,
now
I
I'm just losing it because now I'm looking up at my micro brawlers to get ideas too.
yeah,
King Kong Bundy would be a good one,
yeah,
but I believe he's getting a zombie sailor one, so that's kind of out of the question right now.
yeah. That does not inform me though.
Yeah.
I don't really buy into those, any of those. It's nothing against those toy companies whatsoever. It's just figures I tend to stick to licensed products. I do have some customs in Hasbro's. My friends make them, and they've done some pretty cool ones, and they look really, really cool. I don't mind doing that, but like, I'm not honestly, for whatever reason, I'm just not interested in those. Don't know why, couldn't tell you. It's just, it is what it is. But I mean, we also run across issues with the retro line in the fact that when WWE makes a figure of somebody, uh, you have to be under a contract with them. You know, so there's a lot of wrestlers out there that were part of the company that, again, don't have those contracts. Like, again, Mr. Hughes is one. No Legends deal, so no chance at a figure. I think if you did a retro for Tatanka, we've gotten every form of him as a figure in Mattel Elites. He's got a couple. He's got the one from the 2016 style. I don't remember what series he's in. He got a Legends figure, but I'd like to see him in his like very first ring gear when he showed up with the long pants.
Yeah,
Or I'd
definitely.
like to, or I'd like to see a heel Tatanka when he was with uh Money Incorporated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know,
And that
another good one would be a Hillbilly Jim. We've not seen a figure of him in a long time.
right. Would you, as a tag team in this set, let's say, would you be interested in Strike Force? Tito Santana, Rick Martel.
Honestly, no.
No?
So like if I was gonna go tag teams, I think like Hasbro era that didn't get them.
Right.
The, you know, which would be like, I know the Mountie had a Hasbro, but I'd have the Quebecers.
Yep.
I'd have
I know it'll
this.
probably never happen. I would like to see the Beverly Brothers.
That would be cool. But then I'd want a Jim Cornette
Right.
manager.
And we know that more than likely won't happen.
Never gonna happen. I'd love to see tag team wise. Wow. It's almost kind of hard because like their mainstay tag teams they had Hasbro's of for the most part.
You like really got to dig deep. That's why I brought up Strike Force, because you have El Matador, Tito Santana, and then you have Rick the Model Martel, but they don't have them as a tag team in the Hasbro line.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't. Kind of does nothing for me, I guess.
Right.
Maybe I'll tell you what though, I would like this because I believe they did a classic set, the Dudes with Attitudes.
That could work. I'd be down for
that could work. I think another neat one would be like the brief teaming of Razor Ramon and 1-2-3 Kid.
Yeah.
And then there were some fun tag teams that you'd be like, really? Like the New Rockers, Marty Jannetty and Leif Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think of guys who, don't get their opportunity at some extra money when it comes to a figure that could probably use it. I'm not saying Al Snow, but like Marty Jannetty just had his foot operated on, he could use money. Toxic Turtles would be a funny one, but it's not going to happen.
Absolutely not.
How about you? What are some tag teams you're thinking of?
I'm like I said, I'm looking through my micro brawlers and my Hasbro's over here on the display to like kind of gather some ideas. Now, we didn't even bring this up. So there is a ringside exclusive 2-packs for the retros coming to represent the NWO with Six and Hogan and Hall and Nash. They were revealed at San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, I mean, I saw the figures, but like they didn't have there was no packaging revealing of it.
Yeah, so apparently they're going to be 2-packs instead of the, like these ones we have here of the singles.
Who are they putting with who?
If I remember correctly, and it probably makes the most sense, Six with Hogan and Hall with Nash.
Yeah. I wish they did them as singles though.
I kind of do too, because we already know we can't complete Nash and Hall on the same carding.
Yeah, autograph purposes, like I already have anxiety over this. Like I'm already like, where's his Annie? Like what the fuck, man? Like I need like.
Yeah, Six, Sean Waltman is easy to get. You got to fucking find Hogan.
A Hogan, you can just mail it to the beach shop. It's
right.
Like $175 or something like that.
Yeah, if only these NWO retros came out like a year ago.
God damn it.
But I bring that up because would you like to see any WCW tag teams represented, like maybe a Harlem Heat?
See, I think that would be awesome, but I don't see WWE doing that unless they're willing to put the WCW logo on the packaging. Yeah.
I mean, look, they did have the Sting and the NWO Macho in the original retro, the first run of retros.
I mean, it's also kind of hard, like, because like the NWO, like, unless they have it as in their WCW type stuff, it could be the NWO's WWE style because they were all there, I believe. It is what it is. Anyway, yeah, I would.
Definitely WCW NWO from at least the photos we were shown of the figures.
You could have. You could have Harlem Heat. You could have a more modern Steiner Brothers, as I said earlier. If when it comes to the Steiners with Braun Breaker, there's your tie-in. But you could do a more modern from WCW.
Do Legion of Doom, but instead of the red shoulder
With
pads,
the blue, because that's what they wore in WCW. They
yeah,
did.
I always like that look.
You you won't get Luger and Sting together. That's a shame. You won't get the Four Horsemen unless it's just Rick and Arn. They're not going to do Chris. They're not going to do Dean Malenko. I don't see Steve Mongo McMichaels getting anything said to say.
Oh, you
And
know
Arn's
what?
in AEW, so no, I don't think you'd get a Four Horsemen. Hollywood Blondes would be pretty cool with Pillman and Austin.
That would.
Vader and
Now,
Mick Foley were a tag team. Vader and Mr. Hughes were a tag team.
Vader would be a great one. I didn't even think about Vader. I'm thinking cruiserweights. Do Rey Mysterio. He didn't have a retro.
Yeah, but then you got like because he's modern.
Yeah, but do it in the WCW gear. Do it in the Halloween Havoc 97.
There's if you went like that, I could see a ton of dudes. Eddie Guerrero.
Guerrero, I'd like.
I don't know if Billy Kidman still works for the company as a producer or wherever he was, but a Billy Kidman figure from WCW. I know Ultimo Dragon has a few figures coming out, but it'd be awesome to see a licensed one because as a figure collector, like I don't have a WWE licensed Ultimo Dragon figure signed. Because he was in the Ruthless Aggression line, part of Jax. I've got I believe it's an All Japan Pro Wrestling figure or New Japan from like the night. I don't remember. I don't know. I got one of those signed, and then I've got a mask. But I'd love, an Ultimo Dragon. That would be really cool to see. Which, by the way, we've interviewed Ultimo Dragon. It is hands down the rarest wrestling interview out there because Ultimo Dragon does not do interviews. YouTube.com/Perched on the Top Rope. You can also listen to it on Apple, and that is Perched on the Top Rope as well. Dude, there's a lot of names out there, but I think when it comes to the retros, WWE is going to go through their people. We haven't really
first,
even through the next wave, as you've said, Luger, Doink, who else?
Luger, Doink, Tugboat, Rhythm and Blues Greg, Jerry Lawler.
Oh yeah, Lawler. I'm excited for the Rhythm and Blues Greg.
Definitely.
Really excited for that. Lawler's going to be a cool one. I thought he was somebody who should have had a Hasbro. He was here. He was around at that time, and a Lawler Hasbro will look awesome. So Justin, this overall set, what's your rating? Like, how do you feel about the box, the cards, the looks of the figures?
Well, before we get into the full set, we went down such a rabbit hole so far. We forgot about the last guy.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I know.
I thought we went. Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. No, we went down the rabbit hole, but no red lighting here, no Jefferson Airplane. But we have the last guy in this set, Bret the Hitman Hart. As we mentioned, this is getting signed in October, so Hart Foundation grant or I was gonna say Hart Foundation Greg. I'm thinking Rhythm and Blues. Hart Foundation Bret Hart. Pink star on the boots. Pretty similar to Anvil's gear. Because every tag team they have to have matching gear. It's a fucking commandment, Bret Hart on the card, and he has the heart attack action. Well, it's specified as the heart attack, but he does the clothesline. But yeah, this is an awesome one too. The face, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know what you think, Lee, from what you're seeing here.
Have you ever seen a Bret Hart with a freaking good looking face?
That's a good point, but
it's fucking terrible. Like they, for whatever reason, they don't know how to fucking mold Bret Hart's face. It's like Andre the Giant. Like it's like impossible for a toy company to get it right.
It's like they'll either just put his hair in his face, which he doesn't have like all the time.
Yeah.
Or there'll be no hair there and he just has a massive forehead.
Yeah. So I like this figure. I like that they stuck with the aviator shades. They stuck true to the authenticity of Bret Hart as a tag team with Anvil. Yeah, everything is spot on with it. It looks good. Like you really can't. The face isn't too bad.
Right.
It's not too bad. But I mean, even in the artwork, like they're like, yeah, even in the artwork, they can't get it right. Like, can someone fucking draw Bret Hart right? Can someone get Bret Hart down, please? Like, even the newer figures I have signed, like the Survivor Series one and whatever other new elite that he had come out is already signed. And even those, I'm like, oh my god, why?
They give him this weird smile. Like it's not like open teeth, it's just closed, and it just doesn't look right.
Yeah. So yeah, I got
I'm like mesmerized by this just sitting here looking at it.
like I said, I think it's cool with the glasses that they stuck to knowing, because they're like, unlike like WWE 2K, Stone Cold doesn't even do his own punches like the right way. The Rock doesn't do his own punches the right way. And it's just like, really, what the fuck did you do? So the cool thing about this is, the red card WWF Hasbro Bret Hart.
Yep.
You know the color of those knee pads?
Off the top of my head, were they black or pink?
I believe they are pink. Hold on. Oh, they're black.
They are black. Okay.
Yeah. So my buddy, or it was the elbow pads. That's what it was. Does he have elbow pads on?
Not on this one, no.
Okay. So I actually have this remembered wrong. So this is the series at the Bret. For whatever reason, I thought I was thinking the elbow pad or the knee pads. On this Bret Hart, there is an error where they painted the elbow pads black.
Hmm.
And there's not many of them out there. So if you see one with black elbow pads, buy it. But looking at this Bret compared to that Bret, like this face isn't even right because he's got like a
Yeah, he's got that
Elvis.
like snarky little looky.
Yeah, he's got like that Elvis like lip lift.
I just want to know what reference photos they looked at to get like Bret Hart's face, because every time I don't recall him making any of these faces.
I couldn't tell you, dude. I have no idea. Like I just think they make it up as they go at this point with it.
Right.
I like that, they stuck to the early gear with him, and I'm assuming that's like why like Bret or like why Jimmy Hart is the way he is, but I don't know, it's all right. Justin, what are you rating it?
I love the gear. I think it looks great. I can't get over the face. I'll be generous. I'll say a 7, but I'm
Okay.
really considering bumping it down to a 6.
I'm giving him a 7 too. I was gonna give him a 6, but I was like, yo, Nikolai is like very basic compared to this Bret Hart.
Yeah.
So a 7 it is. Uh, Overall, Justin, the cards, the artwork, the box artwork, what do you think?
I like it, man. I think the box is a nice, cool little thing to add to it. I wish it was packaged a little bit better inside the box because I feel like cards are just gonna get banged up the way they do.
Yeah.
Like you had the first series, it's the same way with this. They're just kind of just stuffed right in there. But I'm liking it, man. And I'm looking at my box now, and there's like a little crease in the corner, and now that's pissing me off. But I think it's cool. I'm glad we're just getting retros in general, to be honest with you, because it did not look like there was a bright light at the end of the tunnel for this line. And to get the guys we are, like, Rhythm and Blues, Greg and Tugboat, USA Luger, Lawler, I'm happy to have it.
Yeah, I get mine tomorrow, so there's that. Now we brought up others in the retro line and whatnot, and very, very exciting. As we brought up, we'd like to see women, we'd like to see tag teams. Obviously, they're willing to do a 2-pack for the NWO. So if you're willing to do a 2-pack for them, you should be able to do tag teams without an issue. I think the problem they have with it is pricing it out, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I've never seen one of these in a store at all. I've never seen one. I've always had to buy third party. This is the first time, like with Mattel Creations doing it this way, that I've actually been able to purchase the figures and not have to pay more than what they're worth.
Oh wow, really?
I've never seen one in a store ever. I'll buy you guys. I have. That's it though. But like, I'd already had them
I was
all.
gonna say we had stores like flooded over here, even after the line was like dead.
Yeah. No, I was never able to. But
Hey, distribution problems, you know how it goes.
oh, absolutely. Hence, I got 4 of these WWF or WWE superstars sitting here for John.
Which those figures are fucking awesome. We got to talk about those one day.
You collect these, right?
I do. I have all of them so far.
Okay. How many are there?
So there's 4 a set, 3 series so far, so 12 out there right now.
Yeah, these ones, like the tags are still like in.
Unpunched, everything, yeah.
Yeah. They were on the shelf, but the punch was still connected. So I put it like
I did the same thing to my Warrior the other day when I got it.
simply set it there.
Yeah,
Cool figures. I don't see myself collecting them just because I don't have the room.
right.
Justin, we have to do something we haven't done in a while.
Oh yeah. What's that, Lee?
It's just a figure of the week. I believe it's my turn, Justin.
I believe it is.
And I have 2 that I'm going with.
Oh, okay.
So, fans, if you have been to youtube.com/perched on the top rope, where we post all our unboxing videos, the first figure of the week came yesterday and is actually our latest unboxing. It is Series 15. It's Kane signed. I'm going to walk right up and show you real quick.
That's gotta be Kane. Yeah, that's a great fucking cane, man. Like they did the similar one with the Decade of Domination where you could take the mask off and everything, but that one's awesome.
Now, here's my thing with this figure, though, because it comes with the WWF Tag Team Championship.
Yeah,
And if I'm not mistaken, this is the same Kane mask as him teaming with RVD.
it is.
So we need an RVD Legends with the tag team belt to make up for it.
You won't get it anytime soon. Well, obviously we know that because of the lineup, but he's getting that Ruthless Aggression figure.
I know. I know.
And that has the Intercontinental title instead of the tag team.
I know, but we need to finish the
I
pair.
agree. I agree.
Now, the second figure of the week, Justin, do you want to guess?
I think I have an idea, but I feel like I'm going to spoil it.
Okay, well, I'll show it off and then you just.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Ringside Collectibles exclusive that will be getting signed. I was originally not going to buy this figure. And then I noticed all my friends had it, and it kind of made me mad that I didn't have one. I.e., my friends being you, Justin, and John.
If it's the figure I'm thinking of, I actually don't have it and I'm looking for it.
Oh,
John definitely has it though.
I thought you had this for some reason.
I wish I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure why it's so damn expensive, to be honest with you.
It's a great figure though.
But the Elite Collection Flashback Bret Hart.
Yeah, the pink just fucking pops off that with the jacket and everything, man.
Yeah. But Bret's face is, look at that.
Yeah, look at he's got the fucking hair in the face.
Yeah.
And he's got like these square glasses.
So those are figures of the week, ladies and gentlemen. You can actually watch those unboxings at youtube.com/perched on the top rope. You know, speaking of some things that are exciting, Justin, let's break some news for Perched on the Top Rope to get a little ahead of the game.
Let's do it, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, this Friday, representing Perched on the Top Rope, myself and Justin will be in Albany, New York, courtesy of Impact Wrestling, to interview Heath, formerly known as Heath Slater in WWE, and Jordan Grace, all to help promote Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory. That's going to be fun.
It will be because you know we did the Good Brothers earlier this year to promote the Rebellion pay-per-view in Poughkeepsie, and you know that was an awesome time, and I can't wait for Friday.
And ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking the new Impact figure line as well.
Yes.
Besides promoting Bound for Glory, I'm really excited for that because Jordan Grace is one of the ones getting a figure.
Yep.
So that's going to be a lot of fun to talk about. Totally excited for that. Next week, Justin will have It's Just the Figure of the Week. Who will he pick? What series will he pick? From what company will it be from? You'll have to tune in next week to find out. What are we going to talk about next week? Well, that's actually interesting. Since Justin brought it up, we will talk about the WWE Superstar line.
Okay, yes, let's fucking do it. I'm down.
And I believe next week I should have my full set of Series 16 Legends line, courtesy of good friend John, which I bought these WWE Superstars for. We're figure collectors helping figure collectors, folks. And I actually have a funny story about this.
Oh boy.
And I kind of want to share it now, but I also kind of want to wait to share it next week while I have the figures.
Oh fuck it, man. Let's do it right now. Screw it.
Okay, so fans, Justin and I have a friend, John, big collector just like us. And he and I were talking, and he had brought up that he was collecting the WWE Superstars, but was pissed at himself because kind of didn't want to do it, but did it anyway. So I was like, I checked my Walmart, but they never have anything. Like they have the Ruthless Aggression, the first series, and now, and they have Top Picks Drew and John Cena, and then there are a few of these. So I go and I get the one Hogan that was left. Now I leave the store, I go home, and I'm like, oh yeah, they had Bray, Undertaker, and Warrior too. He's like, call me, texting me, calling me. I missed the call. I don't see the text messages because I'm actually having food with my folks. So I get done and then I see it all and I was like, hey, I was having food with my folks. What's up? He asked me if I could go back and pick up these other figures. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. It's just a drive across town. It's not really the end of the world.
Right.
So I do it and I was like, well, the first one was 2157. So I thought I grabbed enough money, my wallet. I'm still waiting on my debit card. Inside, Justin knows the story. My account was hacked and I'm waiting on a new debit card.
Right.
And I don't have credit cards. I don't believe in it. I got my credit score where I wanted it to, and I've left it ever since. I do have credit cards, but I never bring them with me. So I don't really believe in using them. I go to cash out. Again, thinking I grabbed enough money. What did I not do? I was somehow $6 short. Sitting in self checkout, not knowing what the fuck to do. So I cancel everything. I go to the lady up at the front, and I was like, "Hey, I have to cancel this. I'm short." And I tried to do a credit card over the phone, and for whatever reason, it wasn't taking. So then I have to have my brother come to the store
Oh,
to give me
man.
$6 fucking. This was like a 20-minute ordeal waiting. I was so pissed at myself. So I'm standing there. Everyone's like looking at me, and they're like, "Oh, are you in line?" I was like, "Nah, I didn't bring enough money. Just go ahead." I had to keep telling. I was just like, "Nah, go ahead. Nah, go ahead. No, go ahead." Finally, like after I told the one lady, I was like, "Yeah, I'm not telling anyone I forgot the $6. This is embarrassing. I'm pissed." He comes, gives me the $6. Out the door we go, and that's the story. It doesn't seem like much, but when all you have in your hand that you're waiting on for someone to come get you, to give you $6 is 3 fucking action figures, and you're a grown ass man with a fucking full beard and fucking hair down the middle of your back. It's fucking embarrassing.
I can fucking like picture all this in my head right now too.
Like I brought 40-year-old virgin to a new level. Like it should be like they should do a remake 40-year-old virgin part 2, The Poor Bastard.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it was rather really embarrassing, to be honest with you.
I'm glad I told you to tell that story now.
Yeah. I'm going to tell it next week anyway, to be honest with you. For those who listen, you get to hear it twice. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
But I'll tell it in a more funny way next time, I guess. Well, you know how we'll do. I'll call John and we'll relive it because I
Dude,
texted
you know
him.
what? We got to have fucking John on this show one day.
I texted him in the middle of it, and I was like, "So this is funny," and he goes, "What?" I go, "I didn't bring enough money, and now I've been standing here waiting for my brother for figures for you, but I can't tell people that because they're not gonna fucking believe me." So like, as my brother comes and bails me out and gives me the $6, I literally look at the cashier and I was like, "All this to try and help a friend," and she laughed. She laughed like she's like thinking I made the story up. Like, no, you're a grown ass man who didn't bring enough money for some fucking action figures, you fucking loser. No, it was not the case.
Yeah, we got to get fucking John on this show one day because he is the fucking best.
And I mean, these things are cool. Like the soft goods are really, really neat that they come with. Do you have these loose or?
I have a set mint on card and I have a set loose.
Like, does Undertaker's hat come off?
It does.
That's cool. Like, this is what I want out of a figure for the retros. Like, if you can make these with a ton of soft goods, why can't retros come with more soft goods? I can understand Elite's not really coming with more soft goods. Jesus Christ, you keep taking the bubble away. There's going to be nothing left to display. Nothing left to show. Why give it soft goods? Take the whole bubble away and just give us an empty box. We're not going to know the difference. Us mock collectors.
Right.
Imagine that. You know what you're paying $25 for? You're not paying $25 for a figure anymore. You open it up and it's fucking air. There's nothing in the box. You paid for a box. There's going to be a slip inside. To redeem this figure, go to Mattel.com.
The fig swappers are going to have a fucking field day when that happens.
Oh, God. We're going to talk about them next week, too, because that drives me nuts. Because, like, I've actually gone twice into stores and seen it, and it was like, I believe one time I messaged in the group and someone even said, like, no, it's not the figure to it. And I was like, oh.
Oh, you know what, dude? I took a picture of it. I meant to send it in the group chat like a week or two ago. I went to Target and the new Legends X-Pac figure, he was still in there, but his jacket was gone. Like they just took the jacket.
For who?
For
Why?
X-Pac, he has a leather jacket on.
Jesus. So, like, the only person in this series that's going to be hard to get signed in the Legends 15 is Stacy Keibler.
Right, because she like does nothing at all.
No, she dated George Clooney. Once you've had that cock, you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, somebody get in contact with Stacy. See if she'll do WrestleCon or something.
I mean, I got 3 out of the 5. You don't.
Fuck you.
Dude, I got lucky. I got so I was willing to pay the extra money at that point just to get it here on time.
Yeah,
Seriously.
well, I got my regular Luger done, so I'll get the chase done at some point.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, next week, WWE Superstars review. And we're going to talk about you figure swapping jerks. Until then, listen to us on Fridays with Perched on the Top Rope, where we talk all the wrestling news and rumors and all that fun stuff. You can check us out on Sundays with wrestling interviews done by yours truly and Justin, who's been helping on interviews and will be helping with the Heath and Jordan Grace interviews.
I get to watch Heath's kids.
So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check this podcast out anywhere and everywhere podcasts can be found, from Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, Red Circle, Podbean, Podbay, and everywhere podcasts are found. It is under the Perched on the Top Rope name. So just look up Perched on the Top Rope for Perched on the Top Shelf. You can find us at youtube.com/Perched on the Top Rope for all the other great figure unboxings and all of our figure related episodes. You can also check out other interviews. It's just youtube.com/Perched on the Top Rope. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Perched on the Top Rope, where we reveal all the new figures coming out. And we share those videos all over, and we share hilarious memes and other wrestling related news. You can find us on Twitter at Perched Top Rope. You can find us on Instagram at Perched on the Top Rope Podcast. You can also find us on TikTok, where we recreate Selena scenes of the greatest wrestling moments in professional wrestling history. And if you don't like that, then you can watch the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan. That's right, the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan, get humped by a dog. Makes me giggle every time. Ladies and gentlemen, you can find the Perched correspondent, who is anywhere and everywhere podcasts can be found, with us on Perched on the Top Rope, Perched on the Top Shelf. But you can find him in the tri-state area, going to any wrestling show known to man, and he vlogs about it at youtube.com/InJustinWeTrust. Now, you can also count on a vlog video for this special interview from the both of us. And you'll also be able to see other great content from shows that Justin attends, from AEW, Impact, WWE, and for a first time for Justin, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Still surreal.
Amazing.
Still surreal.
Amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Perched on the Top Shelf. Always remember, if it's not in a case, you don't have a chase. We're out.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching that video. If you liked what you saw, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you hit subscribe so you can get all our content here at Perched on the Top Rope. And fans, remember, spoiler free's the way to be. I'm out.